Shalom, beloved family. It's your girl Sophia Spiritual Light, and we're here for our weekly cosmic weather reading and tarot report. Of course, we do this every week. I try and post it around 3 p.m. on Shabbatai, and we just go over the cosmic weather for the week, and then we do a 5 card reading to see how we can avoid any pitfalls the enemy, the enemy within may be setting for us due to the influences of the cosmic weather. So we're going to do a short, quick prayer, and then we're going to go straight into the cosmic weather report. All praise, glory, and honor go to the Most High, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the great I am, loving kindness, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We thank you for allowing us to gather and speak with the angels for a few moments so that we can get some messages about the cosmic weather for this week, and we can see what pitfalls, if any, we need to avoid. We thank the earthly mother for always being with us. We acknowledge our older, wiser brother Yahushai. We ask all the angels, our guardian angels, archangels, the angels from the councils, the angels in the kingdom, the angels whose names we know and do not know, we ask that they all come and be with us for a few moments so that we are able to get some information about the cosmic weather coming in this week so that we can be prepared for what may come and how it may influence us so that we can reject any negative influences and accept only the good and beneficial influences. Selah. So, as you can see, we have not had a week like this since I started doing these reports. This is a pretty shocking week. So, what this week means, what this means for us is that literally we should be harnessing energy all week. We should be, you always want to continue to work and always continue to build what you can, but we should be really relishing in the things that we want to do this week. This report, I mean, we only have 3 very bad periods for this week, which is unheard of. I mean, we've had nothing but bad energy coming in from the cosmos. So we are going to have a very, very good week if we are able to, again, harness energy all week. Take in as much energy as you can. And because those who are fasting, we're coming into the end of our fast. This will be a very good, our fast will be over actually before the end of this week. This is a really good time to reflect back on what you've accomplished over your fast. Just in general, reflect back on what you've accomplished if you're not fasting over the last few weeks, over the summer. This is kind of like the changing of the guard, with the Gentiles Labor Day. That's kind of like when we switch into fall gear, which I do not because my birthday is on the 18th, so fall does not start until after my birthday, and I'm very sure to celebrate it in that manner. But again, this is a good week to harness, and this is good because, as I have been mentioning, if you don't watch the daily reports, whatever you sow in September, you're going to reap in June. So now is a good time to sow as much as you can. So in the harnessing part of how do you sow and harness? You sow through your harnessing because you're taking in energy, you're taking in the things that you want to do, you're being clear about the things that you want and the things that you don't want. You don't have to put out a lot of energy to fight against stuff. You don't have to make sure you collect it right now. This is the perfect week to sow all the seeds of everything that you want to accomplish because it's good energy all week. You can stay in a high vibration all week. You won't be brought down by too much, unless you allow yourself to be. Usually I would go through this day by day, but there's not really a reason to. I will point this out. Neutral times are times that are neither good nor bad, so it's going to depend on the effort and the energy that you put into it. And of course, good times are good times to make decisions, good times to make contracts, good time to, make decisions and pay bills and stuff like that. All good energy for this week. So a lot of good energy this week, not all. And those few times that we do have not so good energy, which at Shemesh 6, Thamor to Natalan. Then we have on Lavana Reina to Salam, and then again on Shabbatai from Tamor to Natalan. Those are good times if you don't normally set a table. I would probably set a table in those times, and I'll make a note to myself to set tables on those days because we do want to harvest the energy that we can. And remember, setting a table is harvesting, right? It's not really harnessing. So, yeah, this is going to be a really good week to plant your seeds, decide what you want, make decisions. You know, everything is going to go by pretty smoothly. So, again, my suggestion, if you haven't seen my video on harvesting versus harnessing, you might want to do a review of that. The three bad periods that we do have, you definitely want to, if you can, set a table for those days. And, you know, set a table as in light a candle, you know, stuff like that. You know, on during those times, because they're all during power hour time. So you want to definitely you know, set a table during those time and harvest the energy that's coming in. But we've done a lot of harvesting in the last few weeks. If we go back and look at the cosmic weather for the last few weeks, it's been extremely tough. So now we're getting a reprise. This is a good time, like I said, harness, harness, harness. Because if it's like this, and 9/11 is not on here, so I'm not really sure what that's going to be like. So just in case the following week is some heavy stuff that comes up, you want to harness all the energy you can. You want to conserve your energy. No fussing, no fighting, no arguing. I suggested in the reading for this morning that if there's a family gathering, you go and, you know, just don't talk about any of this stuff and see your family members and hug them and, you know, love on them the best that you can. And if they start asking too many questions, you go ahead on and hightail it out of there. You know what I mean? You know, just if you can, you know, this would be the energy is going to be neutral enough that neither good nor bad will come. So if you know, intend to spend time with Gentiles or 2/3, this particular stretch of time is not going to be bad. So we already prayed in, so I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to try and make these videos short so that people are able to get the information and kind of do with it what they will. So we're going to pull some cards here, and we're just asking the angels again to come and be with us. Thanking the Most High for allowing us to have access to the angels, and of course to the Holy Mother. Thank her for always being with us, and Yahweh Shai for his example. And we just want to get some information about the upcoming week so that we are able to successfully navigate through whatever is coming, and maybe some information, some insights on how to best harness the energy for us for this week so that we are able to make the most of the energy coming in as possible. And of course, when the angels do this for us, we will let the Most High know that they have fulfilled the covenant so that they can get credit for all of their hard work, which we so deeply appreciate. All right, so our first card is a 9 of Swords in reverse. Or 7 of Swords in reverse, my bad. Our second card, 3 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of pitfalls. Our third card, 9 of Wands in reverse. Alright, it's going to be a whole lot for us to trip over this week. Our next card is the Sun. Lovely. And our last card is the Hanged Man in reverse. So he ain't really hanging if he's in reverse. Alright. Let's see what we can get from these particular cards. Let's start with the 7 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so if we're out of harmony with this 7 of Swords energy, there will be deceit, plans will be postponed, frustration, inadequate diplomacy, betrayal, indecision, poor advice, and quarrels. Now remember, this energy is referring to this particular song, super loud. This energy is referring to Lavana, Shemesh, and Lavana, we do have a little patch there of, I need to look at this. We do have a little patch there of um, bad energy uh, uh, in it coming in from Thamor to Natalan on Shemesh. So in order to avoid that, we want to have a strategy. We want to have success through perseverance. We want to have diplomacy and tact, new plans, creative action, confidence, fortitude, hope, interactive communication, able to defend oneself in a difficult situation, confidence in taking easy solutions. Again, so this is not a card where you do not want to confront people. As you can see, even in the card, the guy is in, the guy is with someone else in the picture. So the whole idea is to, you know, not postpone our plans, not to be frustrated, not to make, to have really good diplomacy. We want to have really good diplomacy with whoever we have to deal with, Shemesh and Lavana. And we don't want to take poor advice, and we don't want to get into any fights. So if on Shemesh and to Lavana, basically, if we can avoid fights, we will be successful on that day. It seems like it's just going to be a lot of negative energy. People are going to be exuding negative energy because of so much good energy coming in. We just need to avoid fights, right? But that doesn't mean avoid people. We just need to avoid fighting with them. So we need to have good diplomacy with the people in which we engage with. Shemesh and Lavana. All right, so the Three of Swords. We also have that card in reverse. And so what we're looking out for is, and this is going to refer to Madim. Okay, we're looking out for fear of loss, confusion, imposition of own ideas, regrets, treachery results in loss and suffering. Beware of malice nearby. So, in order to negate this energy that will be trying to affect us, we want to strike out on a new path. Um, we want to separate ourselves. We want to talk, clear the air, and resolve problems. So talk to people if that we're having problems with, or again, ask for karmic release from your guardian angels. We want with the new path requires courage. We want to consider our options before action. And of course, lack of communication brings sorrow and disappointment. So the thing that we want to avoid or make sure that we do on Lavana is to clear the air and resolve problems through talking. And we want to strike out on a new path, and we want to be courageous about our new path. So this goes along with the reading that's coming for Shabbatai, that in which I discussed pretty in depth about the need to create a new plan and really sow the seeds that you want to harvest in June. And there'll be a lot of energy out there to keep us from sowing those seeds, because remember, whatever you sow in September, you will harvest in June. So you need to sow good things this week. And so you don't want to get into any arguments. You want to consider your options before acting. So again, even though the energy is neutral to good on Medine, before you make any rash decisions, you might want to just wait a day, or a couple days, or just put off the making decision at this time, even though the energy is good. And I just said it's a good time to make decisions, but even though the energy is good, it seems like if you do make a decision, it could be influenced by whatever energy is coming in, whatever nefarious energy, infernal energy that's coming in. All right, so our next card is the Nine of Wands, and it is also in reverse. And so what we want to watch out for is impracticality, being overprotective, and being obstinate, have difficulties to overcome uncertainties. So if to be in alignment with the Nine of Wands energy, we want to be ready, we want to be productive, we want to secure position. There may be a pause in work. We want to anticipate difficulties, regroup thoughts before continuing, deeper awareness, strengthen adversity, career strength, perseverance, disciplined and orderly approach needed, satisfaction with current situation, prepared to meet possible challenges, seizing opportunities, taking responsibility for own success and defense. So to make the most of the energy that's coming in, the Nine of Wands energy, we want to not work too hard, even though so when you harness energy, you don't work too hard anyway. So we don't want to do too much really, really deep strenuous work. We do want to pause, and that's especially for COCAV, where the energy is really good. So if you need a rest day, I would definitely suggest that this is the week to. It's funny because I wonder if this is every year. We'll be able to see this, but this is the week that a lot of people do go on vacation. So I wonder if this is really just like a really good vacation week. And so if you don't rest, and it doesn't, if you're working, obviously you can't take a vacation, but you could take a mental vacation. You can not get into any arguments, not have any fussing and fighting, and just decide to go along with kind of what people are doing, and not start any fights. This is a good week to go with the flow. Let's put it that way. This is a week to go with the flow. And if we go with the flow, by the time we get to that's the deck, which is also a pretty good energy day, we finally have an upright card, which is the sun. Let's see what that says. So the upright card, the sun, say this card represents the life-giving energy of the sun, happiness and security that comes from material and physical well-being. Importantly, the benefits of successful life and feelings of accomplishment come as a result of hard work. This is not the card of easy or unearned wealth or happiness, but satisfaction from a job well done. Even in reverse we don't have reverse interpretation. The energy of God flows as a willing sacrifice to the fields to feed the people. So this is this card's meanings are success, contentment, mental and spiritual growth, good health, children, material happiness, satisfied achievements, joy, revitalization, accomplishment, harmony, recognition, individuality, optimism, new beginning, joy, and marriage. So again, that's almost the end of the fast, you know what I mean? And so we really want to make sure that we have as much joy as we can. We will have the opportunity to tap into the feeling of success, the material happiness, the harmony, especially if we avoid arguments, fussing and fighting, and this Nine of Wands. What was the key word for that again? The Nine of Wands energy is pause and work, right? So we just want to take it easy this week. This is really indicating that what I'm saying about harnessing the energy is right, and especially when it comes to Thursday, it seems to me as if we have a picture of the sun. Thursday is going to be a good day to actually physically go outside and actually physically take in some of the sun. So there should be, and because the energy is pretty good on Zedek, that's going to be a day when we want to physically go out and actually physically take in some of the sun during the good hours if we can, right? And then our last card is the Hangman, which is 12, but it's in reverse. So let's see if we should be tapping into this energy or avoiding this energy. All right, so if we tap into this energy, okay, so it's going to depend on how the rest of the week goes for you. So when you get to Noga, you're going to have to decide if you want to tap into this energy that's coming in. This is not necessarily a trap, meaning it's just going to depend on what is better for you based on how the rest of your week went. So when you get into Noga and Shabbatai, in its current state, this card means action decided, decision forced, fear of change, missed opportunity. But you may want an action to be decided, so you may want to lean into that reverse Hangman energy so that you can have whatever it is, whatever action you're taking being decided, right? Being that that's the end of our fast. But if you want to experience this energy in an upright position, you will have period of transition, paused activity, contemplation, letting matters evolve without interference, meditating for answers, inner peace, patience, discretion, turning point coming soon, giving up some things to gain others. So in my assessment, I would be trying to tap into the upright position, mean the upright meaning of this card. And again, just take this week as a week not to make too many heavy decisions, to meditate, to the turning point is coming soon, and to see what you can declutter from your life. Like I'm physically going to declutter from things this week, and so maybe that's something that we can, collectively do. Remove the things, or the things will be removed from our environment that no longer serve us, right? And so this reading is very interesting because it's really saying what I said, which is pause. Like, take this week as a great pause week to catch your breath, assess what's going on, not necessarily make any hard and fast decisions, but just assess the scene. This is the end of our fast. Assess whether it's been successful or not. Reflect back on it, meditate on it, and then basically just go into a holding position and not get too excited or too involved in whatever energy the Gentiles are going to be bringing in, because it seems to me, or I'm getting the feeling that the Gentiles are going to bring in a lot of negative, heavy energy, because so much good energy is coming in that they're going to try and force you to have a bad feeling about things so that they are able to harness that energy. And so one of the things that I'm doing, and I'll just describe this briefly because I don't want to go into too much about this, but it is my assessment that perhaps 9/11 was actually a warning shot from the Most High. And so what does that mean? Meaning they may have not known that maybe they had a plan to knock down. They did have a plan to knock down Tower 7, right? But maybe they didn't know that the Most High was going to take down Tower 1 and 2. And so the Most High circumvented their plans by taking down Tower 1 and 2, and basically they went into cleanup mode because they had already planned to, you know, do this thing on this date and take, whatever the case may be. But maybe just like the Tower of Babel, we got that card this week, the Most High struck it. And they weren't prepared for that, which is why, I was alive at the time. I remember everybody was shocked. There was nobody like trying to hide anything. People were legitimately devastated. And maybe some people knew that some things were going to happen, like they were going to try and fly a plane into the White House. They were going to try and fly a plane into they knew that they were going to do an attack, but they weren't anticipating the towers to fall, because the towers was their power. They were collecting a lot of energy from those towers, especially if you know anything about towers. And so they already had a lot of things set up, but they didn't have anything set up to deal with that particular issue. And so what they did was they just covered it all up. And if you look at the pattern of the Georgia Guidestones, how they like that thing happened and then they just covered it up. But think back in 2001, we didn't have instant technology. Wasn't like that. The internet wasn't instant. So it took it was whatever you saw on the TV. And so they were able to, do what they did and cover that whole situation up by taking advantage of this ritual they were going to do. But in the meantime, the Most High sent them a warning shot, like, what y'all not going to do is do this to all of the people on this planet and not have to deal with it yourself. So he sent them a warning shot. And the warning shot was knocking down the towers. And they were not prepared for that. They were maybe prepared for something to happen because they had planned something. Obviously, they planned a lot of the other things that happened. But I don't think they were prepared for those towers to come down, which is why they have fought so adamantly against people who even question it. They don't want people looking into it and coming to the conclusion that I have, that it was a warning shot from the Most High. And we see how his warning shots go. They came, and you know that it's true because they came in. Okay, let's just look at the Georgia Guidestone situation for a second. They came in before they could even finish the investigation and knock the whole thing down. Does that not sound like the Twin Towers? Before the investigation could even be completed, that whole tower was down. They had knocked the whole thing down. They do the same thing. So when you're able to see these kind of patterns, now when 9/11 comes up, you don't have to be emotional about it. You can just say, yeah, they thought they were going to do something, but the Most High hit them where it hurt, in their pockets. And instead of scattering people into a bunch of different languages, it scattered everybody to their nation state, into their nationalities, into their currencies. Collapsed a lot of the whole system. A lot of systems were collapsed on that day. People don't even understand. So all I'm saying is, if you look at it as, oh, this was a second Tower of Babel. We don't know how many times the Most High is. I mean, we just seen him do it with the God Stone, so we don't know. And that was a warning shot. And so somebody could probably do the gematria and see how many days from that to 9/11 and this and that, and come up with some interesting numbers. I'm sure. I'm not really a gematria person, but yeah, this seems to me like it was just a warning shot, and that their time was almost up, and they weren't going to do what they were planning on doing without having some angelic pushback. And I think that's what we saw. The mother shook that thing and brought it down. The Most High struck it, and you saw just a coming together, like I described with my chestahedron with the heart. You saw that coming together to do a blow against these inorganic beings. And so now that I've basically come to that conclusion pretty wholeheartedly, I'm not going to be emotional about 9/11. This will probably be the first year I won't be emotional, because I know that whatever they had planned, the Most High circumvented them, and I'm satisfied with that. And yes, it's really bad, and they abused it and all of this stuff, but their reign is coming to an end. They have to pay for these things. And so instead of being upset about that at all, I could just say, hey, let the chips fall where they may. And so that's my suggestion, without having seen the cosmic weather for next week. But that's just my feeling. We need to just sit back, relax, calm, and when that day comes, we don't have to be emotional about it, because we know that, whatever they were trying to do, it wasn't even successful, because they've done nothing since 9/11 but try to clean up 9/11, and they have not been able to do it. They have not been able to get back at the Most High. No matter what they spray, they can't turn the mother off. They can't stop it from heating up. They can't stop the earth from spinning faster. They can't stop the trees from doing what they're doing. They can't stop the plants from growing. All they can do is try and stay one step behind the Most High, and they're not even one step behind now. They're about a million steps behind. The Most High is way ahead of them. So I feel like if the universe is handling that situation and handling them, and handled them in such a way that they've been terrified of this happening ever since, hey, why am I going to be worried about it? I'm just going to let the chips fall where they may. Someone has to pay a recompense for that. That's a huge violation of the law that they did, the cosmic law. And I'm just going to let it do. So 9 times out of 10 for me this week, you'll see a lot of research videos, stuff that I've been wanting to put out, but I didn't really have the time because I was busy in the field harvesting. And now I'll be able to harness some of those things that I've picked up, hopefully, and lay them out in some videos for you guys. So we'll just close real quick. All praise, glory, and honor go to the Most High, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the great I Am, loving kindness, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We thank you for allowing us to speak with the angels, and we would like to report back that they have given us a message that's clear, that's easy for us to understand, and fulfills the covenant that they made with us. And we say thank you for everything that you do. We thank the Holy Mother for always being with us. We acknowledge our older, wiser brother Yahushua and his perfect example. And of course, the angels, you guys are doing a great job. We appreciate all your hard work and dedication and service to the kingdom. We have received the message that we need for this week, and we will chill and take it easy. We thank you for everything that you do in service to us and to the kingdom. So to the spirits who are here with us, you're invited to go in peace. To my beloved viewers, you're invited to be at peace. And always remember, the Most High is your peace. Shalom, everyone. And we'll see you for our Cosmic Weather Report next week.